Hello, I'm James Bell and this is Album 101. Hello everyone, hope you're doing okay. James Bell here, back on my YouTube channel for another album review. And I've been getting quite a lot of requests for Kate Bush, and as many of you know, I am a big Kate Bush fan. And I can't believe it, but it's actually been a year since my last Kate Bush review. I reviewed The Dreaming a year ago, and it was even longer since I reviewed Never Forever. That was about 2 years ago. So today I thought I would review her 5th studio album, Hounds of Love, and this was released in 1985. This edition is the 1997 edition, and it includes 6 bonus tracks. Yay! So inside the booklet, which I have here, we have all the lyrics, of course, but we've got some photos as well. I love the makeup, it's great. Really nice photos. One of Kate doing some archery there. Flowers in water. A choreography shot, I love that. And that's a variation of the front cover. Kate Bush on a kind of watery background with the 2 dogs resting on it. It's very, very poetic. And that's a black and white one of her in the water, kind of reflecting the 9th wave really, which is a suite on the B-side. So yeah, no, I really like it. And of course as well, on the front, I forgot to mention this, but in the front, on that second page, we have a write-up by Peter Fitzgerald about the album, which is dated from April 1997. And I think Kate Bush, at this point in her career, had really found her independence that she had wanted from starting to self-produce in her 3rd album, Never Forever. In The Dreaming, she really pushed the boundaries, but still felt constrained by studio time. So after releasing The Dreaming, she began setting up her home studio, which allowed for her to spend as much time as she wanted in the studio as she needed for her next album, which was Hounds of Love. So the first half of this album consists of the 4 singles released from the album and another song called Mother Stands for Comfort. So the first song is Running Up That Hill, and it's the kind of song that has the ability just to make people stop and listen. It has captured people's imagination, and it's still played so much on the radio. It has so much radio play. And like the rest of the album, it still sounds incredibly fresh and contemporary. There's so many elements in this song that just make it so brilliant. Those airy synths, the drum machine that ties the mix together, and of course Kate Bush's vocals. They're so rich and full of emotion. If you compare her vocals from her first album, The Kick Inside, which included the single Wuthering Heights, to Hounds of Love, you can see how much her vocals have developed over that 7-year period. In each of Kate Bush's songs, they all tell a story. And both the lyrics and the pop videos in Hounds of Love that Kate Bush produced are so vivid. In Running Up That Hill, we have that idea of exchanging lives. You don't want to hurt me, but see how deep the bullet lies. Unaware I'm tearing you asunder. There is thunder in our hearts. Is there so much hate for the ones we love? Tell me we both matter, don't we? You and me won't be unhappy. And if only I could, I'd make a deal with God, and I'd get him to swap our places. Be running up that road, be running up that hill, be running up that building, if only I could. And I interpret the lyrics as a need to reach a level of empathy by swapping lives when there's hurt, and we're struggling to when there's hurt that we're struggling to understand in a relationship. The pop video uses very expressive choreography, and it really is beautiful. Kate gets Kate swaps places with her partner when they fall on the ground, which I thought was very symbolic. And then she gets lost in a sea of clones towards the end of the pop video as well. Hounds of Love has that feel of running away and of being scared and of being hunted down by dogs. It's quite incredible to admit to being a coward and not knowing what's good for you. There's not many artists will make themselves vulnerable like that and plead for help. And I have to read the lyrics here. When I was a child, running in the night, afraid of what might be, hiding in the dark, hiding in the street, and of what was following me. Now the hounds of love are hunting. I've always been a coward, and I don't know what's good for me. Here I go, it's coming for me through the trees. Help me, someone, help me, please. Take my shoes off and throw them in the lake, and I'll be 2 steps on the water. To get that feeling of running away in this song in Hounds of Love, we have the big percussion and that pushing drum beat with those relentless strings that just keep moving the song forward. And it's just an incredible song, I love it. The Big Sky has a really big sound to it. The whole production feels huge and tremendous. I love the offbeat syncopated piano melody at the beginning and the enthusiastic and acrobatic performance Kate delivers. And I'm going to read from the first verse. They look down at the ground, missing. But I'll never go in now. I'm looking at the big sky. I'm looking at the big sky now. I'm looking at the big sky. You never understood me. You never really tried. The vocal layering here is second to none, particularly towards the end. I love it. Mother Stands for Comfort has a darker feel that is similar to the tone of her previous album, The Dreaming. The piano and the bass lines could be compared with Houdini and All the Love. It makes a lot of use of sampling using the Fairlight, including breaking glass and sharp percussive sounds which cut through the mix. It's very effective, and definitely the tone is very dark compared with the other songs on the A-side. Cloudbusting is a really emotionally turbulent song that was inspired by a memoir by Peter Reich. Peter reflects on his childhood and his father's work with a cloudbusting machine, a machine that makes it rain. Peter's father gets arrested rather abruptly, and Peter feels unable to protect him. Kate Bush does an amazing job with putting across the emotion in this song. I still dream of Organon. I wake up crying. You're making rain, and you're just in reach. When you and sleep escape me, you're like my yo-yo that glowed in the dark. What made it special made it dangerous. So I bury it and forget. The string motif is very memorable, and I love the pop video as well. It feels every bit of the drama that the lyrics portray. It was directed by Julian Doyle and starred Donald Sutherland playing the father with Kate playing the younger son. The second half of this album is a conceptual suite of music entitled The Ninth Wave, and it takes its name from a poem by Tennyson called The Holy Grail, and I have an excerpt of it on the back cover. Wave after wave, each mightier than the last, till last the ninth one, gathering half the deep, and full of voices, slowly rose and plunged, roaring, and all the wave it was in a flame. Essentially, the ninth wave describes someone's ordeal in being cast adrift in the ocean. For her 2014 live show Before the Dawn, Kate Bush performed many of the songs from Hounds of Love, including the whole of the Ninth Wave suite. I have the booklet which talks about the whole creative process behind the 2014 show, and it's very interesting. I would have had it with me in the video, but I can't find it, annoyingly. Never mind, it's somewhere in this house, but I don't know where, so I'm sorry about that. But as part of the Ninth Wave suite performance, it included a video of Kate in a water tank acting out the part in a life jacket. It took 3 days to film, and Kate actually came down with mild hypothermia from being in the cold water tank. Fortunately, she was okay, and the live show at the Hammersmith Apollo was a huge success. And I think both the Ninth Wave and A Sky of Honey, which comes from her double album Ariel, were brilliant choices for a live performance on stage because they allow for the storytelling to come through. Anyway, let's talk about the actual music. The Ninth Wave opens with And Dreams of Sheep. This emotionally impacting song really sets the scene and tone for the person's thought track. They are remembering voices of their loved ones which the listener can actually hear. And it's in here in the booklet, let me find the right page. Little light shining, little light will guide them to me. My face is all lit up, my face is all lit up. If they find me racing white horses, they'll not take me for a boy. Let me be weak, let me sleep and dream of sheep. I tune into some friendly voices, talking about stupid things. I can't be left to my imagination. Let me be weak, let me sleep and dream of sheep. Oh, beautiful. Under Ice turns from that reflective feel almost into panic as we are confronted with ice, cold, and the desperation to get out of the water. The quickening pace of the music seems to reflect this rising anxiety. And I'm going to read from the lyrics. It's wonderful, everywhere so white. The river has frozen over, not a soul on the ice. Only me skating fast. I'm speeding past the trees, leaving little lines in the ice. Cutting out little lines in the ice, splitting sound. Silver heels spinning snow. There's something moving under the ice. Moving under the ice through the water, trying to get out of the water. Again, those snapshot diegetic sounds of ice and water really reflect the lyrical content here. I love that long, haunting melisma that Kate delivers towards the end with the line, "It's me." It's just so haunting. From that reality, we are brought into an unconscious state with the opening of Waking the Witch. We have people's voices firstly telling us to wake up and delivering snapshots that can only be described as memories. The characters are varying in distance to the listener, which I really like. There's different amount of reverb and acoustic, which I think is really good sound design. We then get launched into this blurring landscape of chopped vocals and menacing voices. It's completely different, with haunting lyrics invoking witch trials. It's actually quite scary. In Watching You Without Me, we are brought into a calmer reflection of watching loved ones without us physically being there. The lyrics again are just beautiful. You watch the clock, move the slow hand. I should have been home hours ago, but I'm not here, but I'm not here. You can't hear me, you can't hear me, you can't feel me. Here in the room with you now, you can't hear what I'm saying. You don't hear what I'm saying to you. We then get to my favourite track in the Ninth Wave suite, The Jig of Life, which for me harks back to Kate Bush's work with Bill Whelan, for The Night of the Swallow in the album The Dreaming. According to the booklet, the original music was found by Kate's brother, Paddy, which Kate has used and developed to be part of this narrative. The instrumentation of fiddles, whistles and pipes suits the idea of being in the wild and surrendering power to Mother Nature. I love the instrumental sections so much. I think they're brilliant. Being from Northumberland, it reminds me of ceilidhs and going to folk concerts when I was growing up. And yeah, it's wonderful. It brings back a lot of memories for me. Hello Earth comes full circle to the atmosphere we experienced with And Dreams of Sheep. The choir harmonies in this really make this track special. It's the Richard Hitchcock singers, and they are very slow and quiet. And it feels like being in a performance of a mass setting. It just makes it incredibly atmospheric. The whole atmosphere is broken in the final track of the album, The Morning Fog, which is a song of thankfulness and gratitude. Having gone through this ordeal, we are now born again. The light begin to bleed, begin to breathe, begin to speak. Do you know what? I love you better now. I am falling like a stone, like a storm, being born again into the sweet morning fog. Do you know what? I love you better now. Wow, it's quite a journey we've been on, but a brilliant way to finish the album. I'll quickly talk about the extra tracks on this edition. We have some nice extended mixes of The Big Sky and Running Up That Hill. We also have 4 really great songs that were used as B-sides to the singles. Be Kind of My Mistakes, Under the Ivy and Burning Bridge have similar production values to the singles on the A side of the album. I think they're great. My Lakeland Love is a lovely oral Irish folk song with new lyrics by Kate's brother John. A nice way to finish off the selection of extras in this emotional masterpiece of an album. So that's my thoughts on Kate Bush's Hounds of Love. Please let me know what your thoughts on this album are in the comments below. I would love to hear from you and to find out what's your favourite song. So yeah, please get in touch in the comments below. Don't forget as well to listen in to my radio show this Sunday at 7 p.m. This Sunday, so Sunday the 8th of November 2020, I will be featuring High Society, starring Frank Sinatra, Bing Crosby and Grace Kelly. So please tune into that. You can tune in on the Radio Tyneside website, or if you're from Newcastle upon Tyne or Gateshead, you can listen in on FM on 93.6. So until next time on my YouTube channel, I will see you again very soon with another album review. But until then, stay safe and keep well. Bye for now, everyone. Hello, Tina. Yes, you're looking at me, aren't you? Tina is within the studio, and if Tina had a YouTube account, she would subscribe to James Bell's YouTube channel, wouldn't you? Yes. Well, I can't possibly know that, because Tina's a cat, but let's just pretend. You can subscribe to James Bell's YouTube channel anyway. Isn't that right, Tina? Yes.